Hello, and welcome to this video about the Vechain token economics. I feel I had to make a video on this subject, because even though it is extremely important, few really seem to really understand it. I personally believe that when you do understand the Vechain tokenomics early, it will enable you to make a whole lot more money investing in Vechain than you already probably will. But first you should know that I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I made this video to shed a light on something that you might not have thought about thoroughly enough. But don't take my word for it. You do the math. We start at scenario 1. Here I will introduce you to some of the characters involved. Scenario 1 is a demonstration of how I assume many VET holders think the tokenomics work. Let me introduce you to Susie. She represents the businesses that want to use the Vechain blockchain. And this is my great friend Normie. Normie represents the VET holders. This is a chicken. The chicken represents the VET token that Normie holds. And this is an egg. The egg represents the VTHO that the VET token generates. Susie only makes one omelette per year. At the moment she needs one egg to make one omelette. Making an omelette represents making a transaction on the blockchain. I know that making one omelette per year would be weird, but for this explanation it works just as well as any other number of omelettes. Question: would Susie rather buy the chicken or the eggs from Normie? Susie is smart, she likes to spend her money wisely. And even though it seems like an easy decision to just buy the chicken, Susie first asks,
what is the price of the chicken? What is the price of an egg? And how many eggs does the chicken lay per unit of time?
To which Normie replies,
the chicken will set you back $10. The chicken lays one egg per year and the value per egg is $1.
Susie figures that if she invests $10 in a chicken she will be $10 down. But since a chicken produces one egg per year and every egg is worth $1, she will break even in 10 years.
If I buy the chicken, I will break even in 10 years. After that it's all free eggs for me. So I will buy the chicken from you, Normie. No brainer.
But as you might suspect, this is not how it works. Now, let us take a look at scenario 2 in which the prices of chickens and eggs are adjusted to the current ratio between VTHO and VET. Again, Susie asks,
what is the price of the chicken? What is the price of an egg? And how many eggs does the chicken lay per unit of time?
Only to find out that while a $10 chicken still lays one egg per year, the value of the egg has gone down, relative to the price of a chicken. This is the actual ratio between VET and VTHO at the moment of the making of this video. Susie now figures that since the egg lost more than half of the original value, it will now take her more than double the number of years to break even.
The ratio between the price of a chicken and the price of an egg has changed. If I buy the chicken, I will now break even in 21 years. After that it's all free eggs. So I may, somewhat hesitant, still buy the chicken. But at this ratio, and with all this risk of owning a chicken, I'm just not sure. I need some time to think about it. Chances are I will just buy the eggs instead.
She says. But this dear vet holders, is not how it works. Because in reality, the chicken doesn't produce a full egg per year, but only slightly more than 15% of an egg. This brings us to Scenario 3, where the egg-laying rate is adjusted to the current VTHO generation rate per vet. This, my friends, is how the Vechain tokenomics currently work. In this real scenario, Susie asks the same questions as before. Normie tells her that the price ratio is still the same and as real as in the second scenario. In this scenario, however, the chicken only lays about 15% of a full egg each year. In other words, it will take a single chicken more than 6 years to produce the equivalent of a full egg. Let's see how this affects Susie's business decision. Susie starts calculating again to make a wise decision about whether to buy a chicken or to just buy the eggs from Normie. She finds out that the yearly value produced by a $10 chicken is now only about 7 cents. She doesn't need the chicken, but she does need the eggs. As long as the chicken produces such few and cheap eggs, she rather just buys the eggs she needs and be done with it. So she tells Normie,
I now have to invest a lot of money to buy a chicken that only produces few and cheap eggs. I'd rather spend that $10 on eggs directly. I will have more than enough eggs to power my omelette restaurant for the next 133 years. Or I could spend $3 on eggs to power my restaurant for the next 40 years. For that's when I will retire. I will invest the other $7 somewhere else. Anyway, I sure as hell will not be buying this expensive chicken as long as the ratio between egg price and chicken price is this low.
This triggered Normie immensely. A discussion ensued. Normie argues that the generation rate will change, that rising price of eggs means an equally as fast rising price of chickens, and he argues that there are too many eggs to invest in them. During the argument between Susie and Normie, you can of course pause any time you like. Do you agree with Susie? If so, it might make you feel unpleasant. I felt that too. What you're experiencing is called cognitive dissonance. It happens when you hold contradictory beliefs. For how can you agree with Susie and still think VET at this ratio is a better investment than VTHO? You can't. So take your pick and act accordingly. Now please do yourself a favor. Pause this video and look up the current VTHO to VET ratio. Then return to this video. Now look at this graph. On the horizontal axis you can see the ratio going from 0.01 on the left to 0.10 on the right. The red line shows how many years it will take companies to break even at a certain ratio. The lower the ratio goes, the more attractive it becomes for companies to buy the eggs. And as you can see, this happens in an exponential rate. Please note that all of the ratios shown in this graph are absurd. They all mean the VET chickens are overpriced, and so companies will just buy the VTHO eggs. In the previous examples I used 0.048 as an arbitrary ratio. In this graph you can see that a company can buy about 121 years worth of VTHO eggs with the same amount of money that will buy them one VET chicken. The ratio can get even lower because of ignorant and irrational speculation. But like I said, that will only make the VET chickens less attractive to businesses. Their money will flow into VTHO eggs first. Something to think about. This graph is the VTHO VET ratio of the last 2 years. You are here. The ratio will move up to the green area where the ratio will be 0.3 or higher, and it will stay there. Otherwise companies will only buy eggs and no chickens. So if you sell your VET here and buy VTHO here instead of here, and when you sell your VTHO here and buy way more VET here, you'll end up with about 6 times more VET than you currently have. Again, don't take my word for any of this. Discuss the content of this video with someone you trust. A business person, a smart friend, your teacher of economics or someone like that. Check the math together. Do you come to the same conclusion? Then take necessary action and be early. And help spread this message. And if you do decide to swap VET for VTHO and then back to more VET, then this might help you to strategize. Thank you for watching.